Good afternoon. My name is Graylin, and I am the CEO of OVLoop and also the CEO of Indigo Technologies. It's my fifth and sixth company at the same time. And my previous four were all acquired by large publicly traded companies, including Loop Pay that became Samsung Pay, and Roam Data that was basically Web2 POS, Web2 wallets. And what I'm going to talk about today is really about going back to the future for Web3 super apps. So wallets by themselves are no longer the thing. And where things are going is really about a trusted commerce community that's built off of backward compatible technologies as well as future forward technologies to be able to be bridged. So I apologize in advance that some of the graphics are going to be a little bit off because when I transferred it over, somehow there's a compatibility issue. So I'm going to talk about Back to the Future and why Back to the Future is important and why super app. You've heard of the term super app, but unless you come from China and lived with WeChat Pay, Alipay, you probably don't quite understand what that really means. Now, Scott Galloway wrote an article a little while ago that says super apps are inevitable. But not only that, the next super app that really takes off could be the first $10 trillion company. Now, let's go to a reality check for a moment, which is today, the fragmented Web 2 environment is actually holding things back because it lacks universality and it lacks privacy. So the Web 2 wallet that I built, Samsung Pay versus Apple Pay, you can only be on that platform. And people are either trying to sell you more phones or sell you more ads. And you don't own your own data. Now, if you go backwards, and you look at how sales were done and commerce was done between the buyer and the seller, it comes down to two things, which is the wallet itself, which has always been private. I don't even share my wallet with my wife. So that belongs to you. And when you go to the point of sale, you get everything there from customer service, checkout, offer of lending, rewards. But as we started moving remote to Web 1, where you have more channels, more devices, and more tender types that are coming. And of course, Web 2 came along, you had more devices, more channels, and more tender types. And that's not slowing down anytime soon. What that's causing, without the kind of privacy in the digital world, everybody keeps our data in one place, one database, locked with one key, so that whoever gets a hold of that key, whether it's a hacker or an internal person, they get the keys to the kingdom. And this is why, from a privacy standpoint, you see such low privacy, high fraud, and also lack of privacy means high spam. When it comes to payments, there is no universal wallet that I can check out everywhere, and you got low conversion rates right now and high cost of acquisition. Now, the privacy pendulum is swinging the other way, so that means businesses are suffering as well. And when it comes to customer service, rewards, we've had the Starbucks application out for a very long time, but how many people have replicated that Starbucks experience? And who wants to download all of these different applications for individual experiences? So we have a problem with fragmentation. We have a problem with non-universality and lack of privacy. So if you compare to what China is doing today, and if you look at China's super app, just those two, Alipay and WeChat Pay, together they have become $67 trillion in turnover, and 83% of transactions are done that way. And if you look at the US, this is what's happening, including the Samsung Pay that I was working with, we're at 4.5%, and less than 0.1 trillion for Apple Pay. Now, why is that? It's because paying with your phone, when you can pull out your card is not that hard. Just replacing that card with a phone is not that valuable. What about the rest of the transactions before and after? So this is the challenge that we've got down here. This is the opportunity. Like I said, I got some font issues earlier. But what we have done at OV Loop for the last 4 years since I finished my commitment to Samsung and branched out to launch OV Loop, we've assembled multiple companies to drive towards a private Web3 digital wallet that works across devices, channels, and tenders. So effectively, we're bridging and closing the loop between the buyer's wallet and the seller's point of sale so that we can have one-tap offers, one-tap payments, one-tap rewards, and one-tap support. And ultimately provide what we called your own VIP loop anywhere on any device. So for people, what that means is it's a one-tap pay, omni-channel wallet, and messenger that puts you fully in control of your own data and your own identity. So we use a BIP32, BIP39 protocol for you to own your own keys. We can't go back and reset your password, go in there and check it out. So any database that you don't control the keys to, basically somebody else do. So now you get to derive your own keys, lock your own data, and you can put your payment cards, your bank accounts, your ID, your membership, your NFTs, your crypto keys, your passwords, whatever you want. It's your data. And you can back it up, use it across devices. It's not tied to iOS or Android. And then when it comes to the brand, how do we pair them up with the seller's point of sale? We have an omni-channel solution that allows the brands to have one-tap pay loyalty and engagement tool that better converts and retains their customers. Here's the catcher, without changing their POS. So they can keep their existing POS, whether it's physical or online, and have that Starbucks-like one-tap pay experience without training their clerks. So you with your OV super app can go tap and pay, get rewarded at the same time, and also get your offers into your own wallet if you wanted to, and be one tap away from opting in and opting out, and you never get spammed. So this kind of private universal digital wallet and super app allows us to then put many, many merchants to give them their own Starbucks-like experience without the complexity and help them close the loop. So now you don't have to have many different apps to have that loyalty, rewards, offers right in your fingertips. And this is what OV Loop is all about. It's about your own VIP loop, whether you're a seller that want to find and keep your customers, or whether you are a buyer that wants your favorite merchants in one place. So that's what I mean by back to the future. That's what I mean by back to building a trusted commerce community. And so for the consumer, we're talking about this kind of storage of your data all in one place. A messenger that allows you to literally one tap or even completely hands-free communicate with people, groups, or businesses that are in OV Loop. And then a reward system that allows you to have one app for many people that have those kinds of rewards. So it's about a wallet, a rewards, and a messenger all in one place. It's about one-tap convenience, one-tap loyalty, and one-tap privacy. So rebuilding that digital community that works in the physical environment as well as the online environment. So I'll pause right there and open it up for any questions.
Any questions?
What happens if you lose your password? It's a big issue really for like the crypto wallet situation. So I'm just curious how the super app, because it sounds like you're gonna put your life in there. They're all NFTs and assets.
Yeah, so the super app is really a tool for you to be able to store your content and store your digital data and digital identity. In the long run, we also use it as a tool where you can share your driving scores, your credit scores, your work scores, so that you can get better access to finance, better access to insurance. Now that data is yours. If you forget your password and you forget your secret recovery phrase, you're gonna have to start over. Your data is probably somewhere else, but you're gonna have to start over and repopulate your own digital wallet again, or your digital super app again. So it is something that can be recoverable and backup recovery, And these are the things that we help you do to make that experience better for the consumers. So we believe that fundamentally having a great experience is really important. We talk a lot about Web3, but don't forget all of the existing fiat transactions, how we interact with our merchants from Main Street to online. We got to be able to have something that bridges the gap. So making it tender agnostic is something that, that a super app has to do.
Quick question. So when you talk about Web3, you're really talking about the wallets, right? And having a unified experience with those wallets. Because to me, that does read sort of as a Web2 experience. You talk about super apps. I've worked at Meta and Google, I think two of the biggest super apps, I would argue. So to me, it's almost a reversal. Am I missing something in terms of the evolution that you're envisioning from a product strategy perspective?
So for us, the super app has to be universal in that it should be device agnostic. It should be channel agnostic, online as well as in-app. So most people think of the big tech, even the big fintechs, as the next person to grab the super app. There is no super app today in the United States. There's a super app in China, but none in the US. There's big techs and there's fintechs. But if I'm Apple or if I'm Samsung Pay, I only work on certain devices. If I'm PayPal, I'm only working online, but not, in the physical environment. If I'm Facebook or Meta, I'm nowhere to be found in terms of in my wallet to be able to go to the mall or go to, my restaurants to shop. So a super app is really about bridging the buyer and the seller, the buyer's wallet and the seller's point of sale. So that's where we see this missing gap, and this is why Scott Galloway says the first super app that actually succeeds in the US can become the first $10 trillion company, because you're bridging the gap between buyers and sellers in really this new economy. And we still got to go back to the future in that. You can't just talk about cryptocurrency and crypto wallets and crypto payments without talking about Main Street payments and Main Street wallets.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.